Here's the thing. You're probably a perfectionist, or you might perceive yourself as wanting to get the best possible thing out. And what I want you to realize is that perfectionism is really just you being afraid of what other people are going to say about the thing that you're working on. And I know that hurts to say, and I know that this might actually be targeting some folks in terms of what their view is. But you're never going to, if you're a perfectionist, you're never going to understand what you can sort of slack on and what you can, what you need to actually have perfect or better than the other things. Because what you're doing is you're putting these sort of self-imposed beliefs on what other people think it should be. And in reality, it might not be the case at all. And what I've learned is you just have to put stuff out there. And I'm really sort of a little bit parroting what Gary Vaynerchuk says, which is putting stuff out there, because I truly believe that's the case. You have no idea how people are going to perceive the thing that you're working on, whatever venture that you're working on. And it really is just, you have to put it out. And then once you put it out, you'll realize, oh man, I was totally wrong with this thing. And that is to be expected, that you're going to be totally wrong with the thing that you're working on. And if you can get into the moment where you're doing this quicker, and you're being okay with putting out stuff that is raw, that is incomplete, or stuff that you're just like, meh, I don't like it. You have no idea what other people are going to think about the thing that you're working on. So if you don't know me, I'm Professor at AMass. I'm Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship. And I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I wanted to pay the favor for it to help you out. Perfectionism is one of those things where you think that you're refining something to get it perfect so that other people can pay attention to it. And what you're doing is you're thinking that the marketplace or your audience or whatever is going to worry about different aspects of the thing that you're working on. And that is good. And there should be a degree of you sort of touching things up and getting to the moment where you can sort of ship it. But what I've realized is you have no idea what the audience is going to do and what they're going to interpret the thing that you're working on. So, the stuff that I work on, whether it's an academic article or, doing any of this sort of social media stuff and talking to you, I have zero clue what is going to click. But every once in a while, I could put out something, I'm like, this is trash. And I put it out and it really takes off for whatever reason. And I can't explain why it does take off, but it just does. And so you need to understand that putting out your trash, or what you perceive as your trash, is actually, that is the fun stuff. That is where things actually take off. And then over time, what you can do is sort of refine what you're actually talking about, or refine what you're interested in based on that audience reaction. So every time that you're putting something out, and I think the key thing is to realize that it's really about connecting. And the more that it's natural, the more that it's sort of like, this is just who you are, right? And the more that it's sort of like you, the more that other people are going to connect with the thing that you are doing. And it seems like really counterintuitive, right? And for me, the counterintuitive part is like, I want to put my best foot forward, and that's what we're kind of taught. And, everybody is talking about, that's really how a tremendous amount of education sort of is focused on. It's just like doing the best possible thing. But often the best possible thing is just you being there and you showing up and you connecting with different folks. And so, what I've learned is I just put out stuff, and I don't know what's going to happen. And I do have a lot of ums and ahs, and it's me sort of thinking through things, and it's kind of like a natural flow for me, where I just, I want you to come along in my journey where I am becoming something. I don't know what that something is, but I just want you to come along in my journey, and I don't know what that ever will look like, and I don't pretend to actually know what that is going to be. And I just want you to be my friend, and I want you to be part of this. So, that's where I'm coming from at this moment, is live your life. Don't worry about the perfectionism. It's actually, when I look back at the sort of, I've got this like larger YouTube channel, I guess. It's been around for a lot longer. When I look back and I look at the stuff that I like, it's actually the stuff that is me being myself, or me being nervous, or, things that are going on in the background that I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, I remember that. That's so sweet, right? Like my kids talking in the background or something like that. And that is actually really the fun stuff. And that's the stuff that I look fondly on. And that's where I want you to sort of realize it's not about sort of having this perfect setup. It's never going to be that way, by the way. And if it's going to be perfect, then you probably should work for network television or ABC or whatever. But you should just get used to being yourself and telling your story, and really just being out and open about who you are, and forget about the perfectionism, because the perfectionism is really where you're just afraid of what other people are going to say about it, and then you hold back, and instead of just putting it out and knowing that it's raw, and seeing what people say, most people are actually probably going to be very happy that you put it out, and those people that are not happy about it, man, they're just a giant wreck inside. They are as I like to say, they're just douchebags. Like they're a giant wreck inside. Like they're just not nice people, and you have to sort of exclude them. And I know that's sort of our natural inclination, evolutionary. We're programmed to sort of react to negative things. But get to the point where you're just putting it out because you want to be you, and you're telling who you actually are. So don't worry about the perfectionism. Enjoy what you're doing and let it be raw, let it be you. And then as you go through things, and process things and think about things, see what people are sort of resonating with. You're never going to know what people are going to resonate with until you actually put it out there. And you might think like the audience was this and wanted this, but man, it's totally different, and you have no idea what it's going to be. So with that, thanks so much for following along. If you like this, leave comments on the podcast page. All right, take care. Bye. And good luck. Quit trying to be a perfectionist.